Okay, welcome back.
Yeah.
We'll just touch on a number of things, you know, happening. The first one was, the first ahead was how much it will cost to give constant electricity
In Nigeria.
in Nigeria. Not confirm the exact amount, but the amount ahead was,
Exorbitant.
it was shaky because I was thinking, wow, you know. And then I mentioned something to Mary and Miriam just for keep on that. Everywhere, things are subsidized by the government for the people. Everywhere around the world, even in the biggest countries and the biggest economies. The problem we have is the fraud in the subsidy.
Exactly.
That's where the problem is. It's not something we're talking about, everywhere. I mean, that's why you pay taxes. So that's why your money, because so that things are subsidized for you, services are offered to you and all of that. So it's a normal thing. But the problem is the fraud that is inside. And then when you hear about people talking about, somebody just sits down and fills a ledger or fills a statement, and that statement is putting there millions of liters, and you are seeing millions of dollars just going out, and there's nothing, checks and balances or accountability, nothing is happening. And it just brings me to the fact that when we talk about Nigeria, people talk about how corruption is the bane of the country and all that. And I tell people that it's not corruption. For me, look, corruption is, how much is this phone? It's 20 naira. Okay. Let me write 20,000 naira, but I will give you the phone because you paid that 20 naira. Then the 18,000, whatever balance, I'll keep it. You say that person is corrupt. But you see the one where you say, how much is this phone? 20 naira. Okay, I'll write 20 million. And then you don't even see the phone, sir.
At all.
That is even deeper.
You know, this thing you're saying about corruption and fraud and all, that's actually what caused the first subsidy removal in the first place. The fact that there's just too much fraud going on in that industry.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because when we talk about corruption being the bane of Nigeria, just as you said, is something I've always found, would I say, something that can be contested. Because there is no country, I dare say, without corruption.
In fact, 1,000.
But what happens is, just as he said, when you're doing things, at least show workings, as the street slang goes. So you are not doing anything, yet the money just keeps disappearing. You hear contract has been given for this, or this has been paid for, or that has been paid for, and nothing is seeing the light of day. It is actually repulsive. Now, besides that, there's also the case of saboteurs, where that's what the government was trying to fix the past few months, where you see people destroying cables that are going to supply electricity to the country. And of course, that brought about the conspiracy theory on how some people that import generators, generating sets, power generating sets, that is, are behind such incidents. And so there are quite a number of issues going on. And Nigerians fail to take responsibility. Responsibility in the sense that most Nigerians are fond of, concern me. If you know affects me directly, I don't go put mouth. And in most cases, that is what causes the problem. You see someone destroying a public property, but then you say, I don't want wahala, make I come on my mind, make I come on my face, make I do like say I no see am. Who are you doing? You're doing yourself, you're doing the country, you're hurting the economy because the government will still have to fix it. And we keep forgetting something. When things are destroyed, they have to be replaced. And replacing such items is money that should go into other things. And then you say the government is corrupt. Fine. We know quite well that a lot is going on. However, in what ways have we ourselves tried to improve the economy in our own little way? People have taken advantage of this increments in dollars. And so much so that items that shouldn't cost as much as they do are actually super expensive. Just last week, a bucket of flour was 4,000 naira. Now, that same bucket is between 4,500 and 4,700. Why? Why? Why do things get increased indiscriminately like this? And the dollar has been steady for a while now. So what is the reason? So we need to look at so many factors when we're talking about Nigeria's problems and the economy. It's actually unfortunate that we don't take pride in ourselves. The other day, you were talking about your visit to Rwanda, and I remember someone I spoke to that traveled to that space saying people there own their country. It's not as if Rwanda doesn't have problems. It's not as if corruption doesn't thrive there as well. But they own their country. If someone should throw something on the floor, they'll be like, no, 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 you don't. They don't say, if they catch you. That's the Nigerian mentality. If they catch you. They don't say that. They say, no, 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 pick that. You're staining the streets. You're messing things up. They own their country. There's this pride in being Nigerians. But the pride Nigerians take is to come and ruin their country's image on social media. You should see some of these countries that have good PR. That is what they have, a good PR.
I was talking.
But we
and the people, the citizens actually are the PR of the country,
Yes.
the country's PR.
Yes.
Because I go to other countries and I see how they talk about their countries with so much pride. Yes, yes, I would like to believe that everybody has a role. The government has a role to play. We as citizens also have a role to play. I was having a conversation with someone a few days ago because, to be honest, every time I come into Lagos, I feel like there's this heavy cloud over me. It can't be seen, but it's just
you know what's
there.
funny?
It's
the way
so
she did her
heavy.
shoulder, like she could feel the cloud.
Yes, Mary, that's deep. Because because when I came into the hustle and bustle, fuel scarcity, queues, like endless queues, you know, at fuel stations. And I was lucky to have, you know, just driven into a filling station, and the queue wasn't so much. I was able to get fuel. However, how is it that when we are in other parts of the world, even in other parts of
Africa,
states,
or even in the States, exactly, let's not go far.
We are able to, you know, abide by the laws, abide by the rules that govern that space. We do it very well. We do it, you know, with so much diligence. But the minute we step into, you know, a space where so much, you know, that there are no regulations, a lot is just, you know, so many things are just allowed to, you know, take place, or are just, you know, everybody's just acting and behaving anyhow. It's a bandwagon effect.
Yeah.
It's a mindset that needs to change. We need to be able to, you know, consciously create that shifts in our minds. And it starts with the way we raise our children. That's why I still go back to charity begins at home. We all have a role to play in the way that we raise our kids, in the way that, you know, in our relations, in our personal relations with, at work, in any space that we find ourselves. Because at the end of the day, we are our brother's keeper. We are the architect of our own misfortune. Okay, let's use the last protest, for example. In other parts, some of the northern states, we saw a lot of vandalism, looting.
At the rice mill. But
It was ridiculous. Did it solve the problem? No, it did not solve the problem. I'm not saying that we should not be agitated. All I'm just saying is we need to do it with, you know, caution.
And you know, that brings me to something else, talking about caution. There's a commission that needs to caution people. I'm taking it back to prices. Price Regulatory Commission. I've been talking about this thing for months now.
I was going to even talk about that.
And I'm finding it worrisome that nothing is being done. Where somebody can wake up one day and decide that an item of 5 naira must be sold 100 naira, and the person gets away with it. I actually find this thing very scary and worrisome, because it's no longer funny. People put prices on things indiscriminately. People decide whatever they want to sell things at any point. Even transportation, which is a major problem, is also guilty of this. These transporters are reeling in money in the millions because they are getting away with it. Government will add 100 naira. The transport, the fare will go up by 300 naira.
Yeah, so the government needs to now step in using the regulatory bodies that are in charge of this, you know.
That's why I keep calling on the Price Regulatory Commission.
A lot of times when I get to use public transport, when you see the Agberos on the road and the money that they drop at different points, you self will pity them.
Guy, if one trip is 30K, with the way they are charging now, if one trip is 30K, you use 4K to settle Agbero, and you use 5K to buy fuel. Haba.
You know, that's the same thing that happened with food transportation. If you want to buy yam now, there are places you buy yam very cheap, but you see,
getting it there.
And
then let's not even talk about landlords. But we have to take a break now.
25 receipts from Benue. Where's Benue State? 25. Each one. And you're entering, you have to pay.
You have to pay.
Oh. Now, wow. It is
All right, let's know your thoughts, guys, on the conversation so far. Don't forget to use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We'll be right back. Stay with us.